bad boy, Craig McMorris. You want legends, you want rookies, you want teenage phenoms. You've come to the right place, partner.
I mean, Anna Gasser, Julia Marino, Lori Blouin, some of the big names, not to forget about, you know, the GOAT of women's snowboarding, Jamie Anderson. But there's a great look at Anna Gasser getting a little final preparations before she drops into this final. Now, Brent, I'm so fired up. We will be handing out medals for the first time on this big air jump in 2019 at X Games Norway.
And there you see our defending gold medalist from last year, Kokomo Murase, with that double cork 1260, the first time we had ever seen it on the women's side.
I'm still picking my jaw up off the floor after that performance, as well as Lori Blouin
making her X Games debut in Aspen last year, riding away with the gold medal.
So we got medalists, we got some rookies as well. Anna Morgan, who will be dropping in first, X Games rookie. That has to be intimidating.
And there you see a live look at how the riders will be entering into the arena. That's right, we cut a hole in the roof. Don't worry, we'll shingle it up tomorrow.
That's you and me, we got that duty.
We're part of the union now.
Pulled landscaping duty last year.
So here's a look at our competition format. We've got 6 riders in the field, and it looks like 3 runs each. And I believe we're counting the 2 best scores, and they've got to go from 2 different sides if those format rules are correct.
That is correct. So the women will have to spin 2 different directions. It's not about taking those 3 runs and trying the hardest possible trick you can. You have to have strategy. You have to put one down and then work on the rest.
So there's a look at our start list for today's final. Anchoring this thing, Kokomo Murase, all the big names you see there, but all eyes will be on that 14-year-old who made history here in Norway in 2018.
I don't believe, Brandon, sorry to interrupt you,
please.
I don't believe we will see that backside 1260 double cork that she did a year ago.
Well, thank you for the buzzkill.
The jump is a little bit different, but what we will see is the rest of the field trying different doubles, where we didn't see that in 2018.
17-year-old German snowboarder Annika Morgan makes her X Games debut.
Goofy-footed rider taking off that way, going backside 180 tail grab and getting a little off kilter. So Annika will throw that one away. If you follow snowboarding, you recognize that last name, Morgan. Well, her older brother, Ethan Morgan, is in town and was having some fun in practice on this jump.
Just got away from her though, huh, Craig?
It did. Doesn't get the pop. Looks like she kind of went very low over the knuckles, so Annika will have to go a little bit bigger, put it down on her feet in runs 2 and 3.
So you keep your eyes again on those 2 scores. That's her backside score, but really putting pressure on her last 2 attempts. She's got to land something. Julia Marino out of Westport, Connecticut has had so much success on the X Games stage. A gold in slopestyle, 2 silver medals in big air.
And really slowing down that. Now, Juliet was having some trouble with practice and this jump yesterday. She wants to do that cab double underflip, and there was a cab underflip, so she's obviously dropping in switch, setting up for that bigger trick, but doesn't get the pop necessary to go upside down 2 times, so she keeps it to 1 underflip, and I think this has got to be a throwaway run. If you look at the rest of the field, you know, Lori Blouin, Jamie Anderson, Anna Gasser, Kokomo, those women will be doing double corks.
Feels like only yesterday she was 19 years old, making her X Games debut, winning gold in slopestyle. Hasn't found the top spot here at X Games since then. Could that change here today? How about a gold medal in her X Games debut in this event at X Games Aspen earlier this year? She's from Quebec. She's Lori Blouin.
She's been riding with Max Perot a lot recently, and that has, I mean, that's elevated her game. She got a frontside 900. I think she might go for it on this first jump. Nope, opting for that backside 540, and that, holy, and she loses it on the outrun. I think they're still going to count that as a land, but that backside 540 grabbing Indy will be her first score, and our first score of substance at that. Looked like she almost wanted to go backside 7. She kind of threw it pretty hard there. Didn't get enough English to go 2 full times around, so she keeps to that 540. Comes out switch, but wow, that was a slide into first base, if you will. What an image.
Her face says it all there. So Blunt's first run score coming in as a backside trick, good enough for 30, putting her into first place. That could all change, though, with our next rider set to drop in. The most X Games medals of any woman in X Games history. That's winter or summer, by the way. 28 years old, out of South Lake Tahoe. The queen of slopestyle, in search of that first big air gold, Jamie Anderson.
Turning 29 in September. She has been snowboarding for almost 20 years, and you can tell she is so confident and so steezy. Frontside 720, grabbing mute on that rotation, and that's going to put her into first place. You mark my words, Brandon, you folks at home, that's going to be a heater score. Jamie Anderson comes correct.
There's only two other athletes who actually have more Winter X Games medals than she, Shaun White and Mark McMorris, who she could actually tie, at least temporarily, if she earns a 17th medal here today.
And with a frontside 720, putting a score down on run one, I think she will do that. She also has a cab double 9 that she was trying in practice, was kind of struggling with it, but when it's game time, Jamie Anderson always comes to play.
You were riding with her in Switzerland just a week ago. She seems to be in a really good place right now.
She is riding so strong and down to try tricks, down to try new tricks, and it's been paying off for her. Straight in interviews, what a pro.
This ain't her first rodeo. Anna Gasser, 28 years old, dare I say the most technically gifted snowboarder in this field, perhaps. She's really pushing the boundaries. She's struggled with some injuries over the last couple winters, but when she is in a good place physically and there mentally, she's tough, near impossible to beat. Right?
I mean, she just breaks the internet. Cab triple underflip, cab 12. I mean, she is so good. And there's that cab double underflip that we saw Julia Marino attempt. Anna Gasser puts it down. And she was struggling with that drop-in, riding in switch yesterday. No mistakes here today. When the big lights are on, pardon me, on Anna Gasser, she puts it down. That's a great first run for Anna Gasser. Cab double underflip, takes off switch, 2 backflips, comes out regular. She is so talented in the air. She can flip any direction. And she's an acro yoga freak.
Right. She was on the Austrian national gymnastics team from 8 to 15 years old.
I believe it.
A 44.66, a huge opening score for Anna Gasser. She'll have to put one other one together, but that's a nice spot for her to be after run number 1. So we move on to Kokomo Murase, who really took X Games by storm just a year ago here in Norway when she won gold.
Been battling knee injuries ever since then, but she's back, and she's back 7ing this beast of a jump. Great first pull from Kokomo. Now, I want to talk about this jump for a second here, Brandon.
Please
do. 9 days to construct this scaffolding, had to tear the roof off. Dirk Schumann is the one who really brought this thing together. And I mean, you got to be crazy when you approach an arena like Telenor Arena and say, hey, we're just going to go ahead and take the roof off here and put a drop-in through there. How do you guys feel about that? I mean, logistically,
I don't know.
It's got to be a nightmare.
I don't know how you feel about it watching this, but we've been up on top of that. I mean, the pitch of that thing is insane. It's nearly vertical.
51 degrees straight down. Now, that's steep, ladies and gentlemen.
So Kokomo Murase, the last rider to drop in here for run number 1. And her score comes in at a 34.33 with that backside 7, good enough for 3rd place early in this contest.
What you have to remember, ladies and gentlemen at home, you have to land 2 runs, spinning different directions. So these first runs, the women are getting a score on the board, and they're going to build from here on out.
Run 1 in the books. Anna Gasser leading the way with that 44.66 here in the women's snowboard big air final at X Games Norway. Run number 2 coming up. Yes, we cut a hole in the roof of an arena, and yes, we got permission to do it.
What's it to you?
It's run number 2 in the women's snowboard big air final, coming to you from X Games Norway 2019. And we start back at the top of the order. X Games rookie Annika Morgan, the German goofy-footed rider, dropping in for her second attempt.
First X Games of your entire life, and you're dropping into the Telenor Arena. That has got to be intimidating. But Annika, putting that aside, she fell on run 1.
Yes, she did.
I'm going to throw that score away. She puts down a frontside 360 right here. A lot more pop on that frontside rotation than we saw in run 1. So Annika Morgan getting more used to the jump, feeling it out, you know, walking away with the landed run.
Knocked the nerves off a little bit. That's what she did on her first attempt. Cleans it up. A score of 20 going front side there. And that replaces her first run score. So we'll see what she can do on her third and final attempt. Julia Marino now will try to improve upon her score.
Crunch time right now for Julia Marino. This format is so unforgiving, especially if you fall in that first run, because you have to land the next 2, and that's what happened to Julia Marino on run 1.
There's a great look at the drop in. All the riders say they're scared they're going to hit the crossbar.
There we go, the cab double underflip from Julia Marino. She matches Annika Gasser's cab double underflip that we saw in run 1. So she's got a score in the books, and she has got to be ecstatic about that, Brandon.
Yeah. That's a trick that we know she has on lock. Good to see her put it down on this second attempt.
That in-run is so gnarly coming into this jump. Now, the jump isn't massive, but when the in-run is that intense, coming in switch, definitely difficult. Julia Marino figuring it out there.
The only way I can describe it, and I think Anna Gasser kind of said the same when she says, I'm afraid to take my truck down into a parking garage. That's kind of what it feels like. You're going down into a subterranean parking garage.
Yeah, that's exactly what it's like.
But you're on a snowboard, and you're hucking yourself over a gap.
At the X Games, yes.
So it's nothing.
So
like
it's absolutely nothing like that, but put us in the headspace to get there, I see.
Marino with a very strong 43 on that trick, putting her up into second place. Can I get a selfie? Can I get a selfie?
Now the question is, what does she do on run 3? I'm very, very curious, because I've only really seen her try that cab double underflip here today in practice.
Lori Bluan, sitting in 5th place. Went backside on her first attempt, scored a 30. Remember, each of the riders need 2 scores from 2 different directions.
1 spin to the right, 1 spin to the left. Now, backside 540, not her biggest trick. This frontside 9, I'm guessing she will attempt. That is one of her biggest tricks right here. Ooh, and now she landed, she rode away, but that hand touch was mandatory. The judges are gonna take a lot away from that. She didn't really get full rotation. We're gonna get good look on the replay here. So she grabs tail, realizes I don't have enough mustard to bring this thing around, has to let go and fight it, but you can see her slide down, a little bit of a butt check there. And that will be a throwaway for Lori Bluan. Still got one more run. That's what you gotta love about landing that first jump, is you can work on your harder trick like a front 9 for Lori. Brandon.
Yeah, she'll get one more crack at it. 3rd place is where she'll stay. But she'll need to knock out that second attempt trick. We move on to Jamie Anderson, who did what she wanted to do on run number 1.
Yep.
Experience on her side as she's making her 19th X Games appearance. She knows how to stack those tricks, climb the ladder.
One note, the first time she ever competed in the X Games, she was 12. It was for border cross.
Border X.
Now, we have to take another look at this. That was the cab. That's a step down from the cab double 9 that she was trying.
You see her shaking her head.
But I think she had major troubles on the drop-in, so that put her in a space where she couldn't chuck as hard as she wanted to.
Yeah, let's see where she actually changes. Yep.
Oh my
Wow.
goodness. Now that is dry slope.
Think about how sketchy that must feel.
How did she even make it to the jump? Taking that thing switch the whole way down and almost losing it at the top there.
So had to call an audible.
Had to call an audible, but she's safe and okay. That is terrifying. Coming down that thing switch, especially when you almost lose it at the top there, and you can see the face. Jamie Anderson says, I'm happy to be alive. That was a close one.
So as you see, Gasser, Marino, and Lori Bluan all have single trick scores in the 40s. Jamie does not. Jamie's best scoring trick came off of that first attempt.
That front side 720, but if she does her cab double 9, it is so, so awesome. So much more technical than the straight over cab double underflip.
Correct.
I think she'll be scored very, very handsomely.
So what does Anna Gasser, who has the highest single trick score of the contest thus far, do here on run number 2, Craig?
Well, if I was a betting man, which I am, I would go
one of your many vices.
One of my many vices. Backside 720 from Anna Gasser. If see if I'm right here, though. That cab double underflip done so well. Oh, no, she's going frontside double underflip.
Yep.
Whoa! Hangs onto it, and that is very tough to do on that landing. It's bumpy, it's mean, and she rides out switch. Wow, did not see that coming. I think that will be a bit of a higher score from her run 1. I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. Front double underflip.
I mean, look at the height she gets off of this.
She generates so much more pop on that front side rotation than she does on her cab. And I also like how she's not fully 90 when she does her 2 backflips, if you will. She's kind of corked throughout it. Really, really well done front double 9 from Anna Gasser. But here's that landing. That's so tough to hang on to that switch when you don't really have your weight down. You kind of have to be very light on your feet. Anna Gasser is.
Gasser made her X Games debut 5 years ago, and she's just been on fire, really, since she set the scene. I mean, she's 28 years old, and there you see that score now coming in. Wow, 86.99 overall. And we got ourselves a benchmark, partner.
That's going to be tough to beat, Brandon. I'm not going to lie to you.
No, but what I was saying is, you know, she and Jamie are both the same age. Jamie's been on this stage since she was 12 years old, as you said. It's crazy to think that we've only really seen 5 years of competitive snowboarding from Anna Gasser.
Seems like just yesterday she was making her debut. Now she's one of the favorites.
Much like this young lady, 14-year-old Kokomo Marase, who made her X Games debut here in Norway 1 year ago, earning gold.
Wow, okay. It's just and she's fired up, so are we. Front double underflip, she was not even close to that in practice. I'm not gonna lie, let's be honest here.
Are you not entertained?
She was not even,
Arena, come on.
She was not even close to that, and then puts it down so well. Boom, how
you know some competitors, when the lights turn on, Craig, it's go time.
It almost looks like she grabs.
We're talking about practice.
You're talking about practice? I'm talking about a game right now. Kokomo, almost, wow. She did that very, very well. Hangs on that switch ride out. She's fired up. Good for her.
The lone Japanese rider in our field here today with a huge score of 43.33. That gives her a combined score of 77.66. If she can bump up that backside score, look out now.
I really want to see her go for that back 10 double, or back 12 or back 10, whatever she's feeling on this jump. But we saw that back 12 last year, and that was groundbreaking. You watch a lot of events, and then you see something like that, you're like, well, we're literally seeing the sport be pushed by one rider, one event.
And there you see the lift up to the top of that jump. That's how the riders get up there. Craig and I like to take the stairs. There's no off days for us.
No off days. Every day is leg day, ladies and gentlemen.
But the elevator, very convenient when you've got boots on. So 2 runs in, and it's Anna Gasser setting the pace with that 86.99. Yikes.
She crazy for that.
Run number 3 when we return. final run time here in the Snowboard Big Air Women's Final. Who wants to feel the steel? Who wants to hold the gold? Craig McMorris, we're about to find out. Anna Gasser is leading this thing. She's won this event before, but she's about to get chased by the rest of this field on this third run.
And chased she will be. We have reversed the start order in terms of the leaderboard. So Anna Gasser, our current leader, will be dropping in last. And what advantage does that give her? Well, she gets to see the rest of the field go, figure out what they have done, and do her run accordingly. So she's sitting on that #1 spot. She's got the good ground.
There you see a look at that comp format. Remember that the scores really matter right now. And you see a look at those spin directions.
You gotta do two. You get 3 runs, you gotta do 2 different rotations. You can go to the left once, you can go to the right once, and on the third jump, make up your mind. Do whatever you want to do. For Kokomo Morase, who is chasing Anna Gasser, I want to see her go back to that backside rotation.
So we reversed the start list, as you said, partner. Anna Gasser's leading this thing, so she will now be the last one to drop in. And the X Games rookie, Annika Morgan, she doesn't move. She kicked this thing off, and that's where she'll stay.
Familiar territory.
Now, back to Anna Gasser for a second. She's got to be feeling really good, but we know that Jamie Anderson's right there and has a trick, at least from a single score perspective, that could really blow the roof off of Telenor Arena. Well, at least the portion of the roof that we haven't already cut into.
That's still not taken off.
Correct.
Yeah, that's a lot of I-beam work she'd have to do there.
So there's a beautiful look at our drop-in as they come from outside to in.
Now to Morgan, frontside 360, and just, oh, whoa! Taking a page out of her brother's book. She tries to come up short on the knuckle, and then Tame Dog off of that. She's fired up, and rightfully so.
That one was for Telenor Arena. Take another look at this.
So she goes very slow, lands on the knuckle, and tries to front flip off that, maybe putting her hat in the ring for the knuckle huck.
I was just gonna say, I think she's setting a preview for Knuckle Huck 2.0 at X Games Aspen 2020. So Annika Morgan making her X Games debut, unfortunately, not quite the day she was looking for, but a smile on her face nonetheless. This is not the last we've seen of Miss Morgan. Still just 17 years old, by the way. Wow. Lori Bluan, 1 gold in her X Games debut at X Games Aspen earlier this year. Right now, Craig, she's sitting in 5th place.
So she has the palette for it. She also has the tricks for it. Frontside 900 was her 2nd run trick attempt. Does she go for it again? I say she does. Got to get going, and that she does too. Frontside 900, Lori Bluan. Now, Brandon, I don't know if that's going to be enough to bump down Anna Gasser, but it will or should be enough to get her in that 3rd place position, maybe even 2nd place, because that was a very well done frontside 900. Grabs tail, holds the grab for much longer than she did in run 2, and rides away, because in run 2, she fell. They're not going to count that as a fall. She was trying to put on the e-brake there and just wasn't grabbing.
So how much will she score on that one? She would need, as you see, a 48 to jump up into 2nd place to add to her 30 from her backside trick. This certainly will clean up the 11.
Now remember, each jump is scored out of 50, so a 48 would have to be exceptional. I don't know if she's going to get that 48, but I think she will be able to jump into that 3rd spot ahead of Jamie Anderson.
Well, that she does. A score of 71 puts her into that bronze medal spot, but she cannot rest easy because the woman she just bumped out is dropping in. Jamie Anderson. There you see she's got that frontside score, that 36.33. Switch front side of the 30. What can she do here, Craig, to jump back into podium position?
Cab 9 double, keep your fingers crossed. Let's go, Jamie. Oh, no! If she would have put that one down, I don't even want to say what I thought. She went so deep on this jump. She carried so much speed for that cab double 9. And she just doesn't bring it onto her toes. See how she's so heel heavy in that landing? It's almost impossible to ride away like that Jamie Anderson, heartbreaking, Brandon.
You think about this scaffolding jump and you wonder, we're going from outside to in, perhaps there's some limitations on some tricks. That's a trick we would see outside in Aspen for big air.
That is correct. That's a heater, especially the way Jamie Anderson does it, rotating throughout the entirety of that trick. What a valiant effort from Jamie Anderson.
After earning a bronze in big air at X Games Aspen early this year, will not finish on the podium. Will Julia Marino? She's sitting in 5th.
Frontside 720, keeps the hands off the snow, so she puts down her second counted run, if you will. She fell in run 1 on that cab double underflip, got it in run 2, and now in run 3, she puts down the frontside 720. Will it be enough? I don't think it will be enough to bump out Lori Blouin.
She would need to best overall a score of 71 right now.
Oh, well, you know what? I'm going to take that back,
I think that it is enough.
I think it is enough. I apologize. I'm sorry, and I got ahead of myself.
You're not a math guy.
You know that about me. I'm an English major, man.
So a 43 on her first scored run. There's you see what she would need to jump up into first place. But we think here in the booth, she did enough to at least get up into 3rd place, and that she does for an overall score of 74.66. So Julia Marino gets up into the podium.
Well, musical chairs on the podium here today.
And with that, she's guaranteed a bronze medal because there's 2 riders left to drop in who are currently in 1st and 2nd place.
Really, the only thing that will change is if Kokomo can put down an absolute hammer.
Right.
I'm talking something groundbreaking here, and we've seen her do that, Brandon.
Kokomo rocked Norway. She rocked the world of snowboarding 1 year ago in this contest with the first ever women's competition double cork 1260.
There's an asterisk. She has been battling knee injuries, but she is believed to be healthy enough to do something groundbreaking. We'll wait and see.
It all comes down to this.
Oh, she was going for it. Shooter's gonna shoot. Brandon, shooter's gonna shoot.
Wow, Kokomo Marase leaving it all out there on her final attempt, Craig.
So she was going for that backside 12. The way she does her backside doubles, it almost lends itself to having to go to 12, which was detrimental because she didn't get that much airtime on this jump, so that's a hard one for Kokomo.
And that guarantees Anna Gasser another big air gold medal, the 2nd of her X Games career, her 3rd X Games gold medal ever. Wow. And Anna Gasser joining elite company with this win, Craig.
2 golds in snowboard big air. Who was the last person to do it, Brandon? I want to say...
Can I take Terdakitis?
That is correct. She did it in 2000 and 2001. X Games Mount Snow.
Wow.
Now, what I want to say about Anna Gasser, let me just have a minute here. She was the most terrified person of this jump out of anybody.
That's true.
I traveled from Switzerland over here with Anna Gasser, and the entire time she was talking, the jump's gonna be too big, I'm too scared to do the in-run, am I gonna be able to hit it switch? Constantly worrying about this jump, and then what happens? She comes in and clinches gold with a victory lap? Are you kidding me, Brandon?
Anna Gasser, no stranger to history making. Of course, the first woman to ever land a cab triple underflip, which she did just a couple of years ago. You think about her gold medal performance in big air in 2018, perhaps the most progressive one we had ever seen at that point. And then you come into a contest like this on a scaffolding jump, and Anna Gasser leaves no doubt about it. As you said, we wondered her confidence level, how she felt going into this. Didn't seem super comfortable in practice, and she just played like an all-pro out here today.
Facts, facts, facts. Now, you talk about that practice. She didn't even really make it over the jump when she was dropping in switch. I was like, how is she even going to do a cab double underflip? Here today, she gets a little bit more lumber on the drop-in, and it's a totally different ball game. Wow.
So in her 7th X Games appearance, Anna Gasser earns her 5th X Games medal. So Anna Gasser, Kokomo Marase, and Julia Marino round out our podium.
Did you call it? Could you see it? That's not my podium.
That wasn't what I thought going into this contest, but they proved themselves worthy.
And that's what I love about X Games. It's anybody's day. Whoever's on it, they get it.
So Anna Gasser, with that 86.99 overall, wins the top spot here at X Games Norway 2019. And Kokomo Marase, by the way, after a gold medal last year in her X Games debut, we wondered about the injuries. Were those going to plague her? She comes back and earns silver. Let's head down to Jack Matrani.
Anna, congratulations. Now your 2nd Big Air gold medal. There's rumors floating around that you were very scared on the journey here to hit this, and that you get scared just driving into parking garages. How did you overcome that fear?
Yes, the jump was really challenging. It was hard to get speed and boppy, and to be honest, I didn't have the best practice, so I'm so happy with the 2 tricks I did. And yeah, actually the level of the girls was still pretty high for like such a challenging summer jump, so I'm really happy I have another gold.
Well, congratulations, and you continue to push the sport of women's snowboarding. I mean, what is that motivation behind you to keep this going?
Oh, I just have so much fun progressing, and I think that's my motivation, just having fun and getting better.
And I heard Craig McMorris earlier say that you're an acro yoga freak. Is that true?
Yes, that's actually my main training besides of snowboarding, doing some acrobatics and acro yoga, and I'm trying to get some snowboarders to do it too, and I had a lot of fun doing it with Jamie and Mark this week in Saas-Fee.
Well, your fun is inspiring. Congratulations once again, Anna. And that's the ticket, acro yoga.
Thank you, Jack. Yeah, we if you were on Instagram at all and you follow any of those athletes, you would have saw actually Craig McMorris participating in the acro yoga.
Yeah, if you read my blog, you'll know I'm an acro yoga freak, so yeah, I mean, it pays off. You get a gold medal.
Congratulations to Anna Gasser again. What a start to her X Games career. 7 X Games appearances, 5 medals, 3 of them gold. This is the 2nd time she's won Big Air, joining elite company. Just seems to make history every time she competes in a contest, Craig.
I mean, she pushes herself when she's practicing, she pushes herself when she's free riding, and she pushes herself in the competition ring. That's how you become one of the greats. Also, acro yoga. I didn't know that made you a better snowboarder, but clearly it does, Brandon. And we have so much going on today. It's going to be a great rest of the day.
Yeah, we're just getting started. The 6 best ladies in snowboarding Big Air all invaded Telenor Arena. But at the end of the day, it was Anna Gasser reigning supreme, winning gold here at X Games Norway 2019.